Hi there, welcome to another segment of the program Nigeria Decides 2023, still broadcasting to you live from Lagos, Southwest Nigeria, here on Vanguard Live. Well, of course, this segment is going to be very, very interesting as we have a guest joining us live from Zoom in the person of Dr. Emeka Umoso, who happens to be a public policy analyst and, of course, INEC observer. Right. Okay, so Dr. Emeka, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, you happen to be one of the members of INEC observers. What would you say about the ongoing election so far?
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Right.
I believe this is a very critical election in the history of our country. Given the intensity of the campaigns, given the quality of the candidates that are on display, and given the passion that have been expressed across the length and breadth of Nigeria, and even beyond the shores of this country, it is one election that have been adjudged by both international and domestic observers, and even as one election that will really define the future of this country to a great extent. So if you look at it, all the frontline candidates have done very well and have been hard for the people of Nigeria to make the ultimate choice. So I believe it's a critical election, and INEC cannot afford to fail the country, because if we get it right, I believe the future definitely will be bright for this country. And this is my opening statement.
Right. Okay, you just said that INEC cannot afford to fail the country, but it seems as though we are beginning to experience some certain glitches, on the part of INEC, as reports just reaching us is saying that enthusiastic voters are kind of disappointed as a result of the fact that INEC materials have not really arrived their polling units. Of course, as of let's say 5 minutes past 9 a.m. What would you say about late arrival of INEC election materials to some polling units as widely reported in the media?
Okay, thank you very much. We have already had this problem, but I want to believe that this may be an isolated incident. For us to reach a conclusion that it's a widespread development, then we must have gotten a report from across the Federation. But I believe this may be isolated incident, either due to terrain or the particular area that is involved. In some cases, maybe some man-made problems. But I want to believe that this is an isolated incident, because I've not read of such development. In Abia, I am covering the election. I am observing the election in Abia State. So what I'm saying that I'm not in a position now to confirm that this is a widespread development. Probably may be an isolated incident. So I am sure by the time we progress, this is just barely 1 hour, so I'm sure the logistics will get improved.
Well, interestingly, Dr. Emeka, the incident that was just reported happened to be in Abia State, in Amuzuku Girls Secondary School in Umuahia, not local government area of Abia State.
Okay. This is Abia and Umuahia. Amuzuku is just there in the city center. So I'm surprised that this kind of development is being reported, because Amuzuku is not a place that is far removed from the capital. It is right there within the capital.
Right.
In Umuahia.
Right.
So
all right.
It's something that we need to find out what really happened.
All right, Dr. Emeka. Interestingly, you are observing the election in the eastern region of the country. You would recall that a few days to the election, there were incidents of insecurity, killings and all of that from the south eastern region of Nigeria. What exactly is the security situation on ground as the election is actually progressing?
Well, just like I say, almost every part of this country has one security problem or the other. In the past, not too long ago, southeastern region or the South Ijob Zone used to be one of the most secure zones in this country. But for one reason or the other, of course, we know the foundation of this problem, agitations for self-determinations and things like that, and the thing has gotten out of hand to the extent that we have a full-blown insurgency in some parts of the southeast. But this matter is being handled, it's being dealt with by the authorities. The places where you have these most just within Olo axis of Imo State, and then of course, Olo, where it shared boundary with Anambra State, that will be Ihiala axis. So this is where this thing, had been, more or less acquired, a high degree of intensity in the past year or thereabout. So, but outside these areas where you have this prevalence of insecurity, there is a calmness, relative security in other parts of the south. For instance, I'm here in Abia State. We've not had issues of non-government for a very long time, and I believe even the neighboring state in Ebonyi, we've not had this. And until recently in Enugu, where they had this problem where a senatorial candidate was assassinated. So you could say that for some time, this insecurity is somehow localized around the Imo and some parts of Imo, particularly Olo, and then extending towards Ihiala, Osumoho axis in Anambra State, the share boundary. So that's how we had this. But as yesterday, even when I was moving around, I saw the deployment of troops, at least around Umuahia and environs. I believe the same situation may be obtainable in other parts of the southeast. But I'm just speaking specifically about Umuahia now, where I've been able to move around yesterday.
Right. All right.
The troops have been deployed all over the place. So I believe, the situation is calm now as we speak.
All right, Dr. Emeka. Well, insecurity, of course, we know it's a major concern of Nigerians as a whole, and not just the people of the southeastern Nigeria. How do you think insecurity would impact this election? From what you have seen on ground so far, do you think insecurity has had a major impact, in terms of voter apathy and people coming out to cast their vote?
Yeah, insecurity is a problem. It definitely is already impacted on the election, because if you recall, about 240 polling units were cancelled by INEC. They say election will not take place in those 240 units across the country, and the primary reason that was cited was insecurity. And coming down to the southeast here, the state that is most affected is Imo State, where about 30 polling units were affected. And these 30 polling units are within the Olo axis, like I stated earlier. So, on that basis alone, you could see that the insecurity is already impacting on the election, especially in these crisis-prone areas. What it means that people living within those axes will not have an opportunity to vote, because during the time of voter registration, it's like the pervasive insecurity in those areas could not enable the people to come out to cast their vote.
Right.
Outside those places, I believe people will come out, because the security agencies have assured that they're on top of the situation, and they will ensure that no act of brigandage will be tolerated. So. All
right, so Dr. Emeka, let's quickly talk about the ethnic agitators. We know that we've had incidents of IPOP declaring sit at home in the southeast and all of that. What exactly do you think we should expect today? Because we also heard a few days to this election that a 1 week sit at home was declared in the whole of southeast region. That was before the arrest and release of IPOP spokesman Simon Ekpa. What do you think it is going to happen today in terms of the calls from the ethnic agitators?
I have to be frank with you. There's nothing like sit at home on this election. People are aware of the importance of this election, more so when a candidate from this part of the country is standing on the ballot. So there's no way that and not be able to exercise their civic right. People are going to come out and march. So this one before now, they have withdrawn the order. That's the IPOB that is led by Nambikano. So these guys who are now causing all this confusion believed,
right,
to be, black sheep, they don't have any kind of control over the masses. Just that the criminal elements have taken advantage of the vacuum.
Right. All right.
Leadership within this part of the country. And so, but I can assure you that people are coming out to participate in the election because of the obvious importance. All
right. So since we have large turnout of voters, let me quickly ask you this question, Dr. Emeka Nwosu. Have you casted your vote?
Yeah. I'm waiting for this interview to be one or be five.
Okay. So do you have anyone around you who has voted?
I'm not saying about that just because of this interview.
Right. Okay, so I needed to know if they have been any issues with the BVAS, so far in this election and in the region that you are observing.
I'm not in a position to report that because I've not gone out to many of the police stations. You understand? Right. So I thought we were going to have this interview before I step out.
All right.
So if I tell you anything now, I'm just.
All right. Okay. So before I let you go, Dr. Emeka Nwosu, what is your general assessment of the election so far from your region?
Well, people here are very enthusiastic, about this election.
Right.
A lot of mobilization has taken place in terms of, awareness, in terms of public enlightenment. So as at before the campaign, everybody was raring to go. So both the young and old, those who are within the voting age, they are going to stoop out to vote. So there's a lot of awareness here. I can tell you that, more than whatever I've had in the past, because of the way and manner people have seen this election.
Right.
Because it's going to be another transition from another regime, from one set of to another. So this Buhari is completing 8 years. So that's why people are anxious,
Right, anxious you said, and we hope that this large turnout, really reflects the choice of the Nigerian voters. Many thanks to you, Dr. Emeka Nwosu, a public policy analyst, media consultant, and a member of the INEC Observers team. Many thanks for joining us here on Vanguard Live. All right, so that was Dr. Emeka, who has been speaking with us on his general assessment of the election that is currently ongoing nationwide. He is currently in Abia State, and of course he has been providing us with some of the happenings in that region. Do not forget to like and share stories, and of course this particular video on all our social media platform that is showing on your screen. And of course log on to our website www.vanguardngl.com, where you have live updates of this election coverage. It says bye for now. I am Ido Bankole.